parties. It looks like most of you need some very strong coffee, but thank you for turning up. My name is Karen. I'm the Chief Customer Officer for FairPrice Group. Today, I'm really excited to share a very boring topic with you, and that's about data. Before I start, other than trying to sell a lot of eggs and tomatoes, right, at a fair price, FairPrice Group has actually been on a journey for data transformation. We have actually been looking at how we can deliver better value and better customer experience using data. Why is it important? We firmly believe without good data, you cannot have good AI. And that's why today, when we look at the title, being AI enabled, we are still on this journey. We are AI practitioners. I'm going to ask a lot of questions, okay? So hopefully all of you can actually stay focused. This particular brand was actually called out by the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, at the Grand Prix, saying that, wow, I didn't know Singapore actually got really good snacks. And this is a FairPrice brand. So I'm going to go and throw a lot of questions about data. If you answer it, I'm going to throw this at you, okay? Why are we doing data? For the next 15 minutes, I'd like to go and share with you. In order to actually get ready for AI transformation, you need to go and get your foundational layer of data ready. And like a lot of traditional retailers, we have pretty siloed, pretty messy customer databases. In order for us to go to purpose-led, data-driven AI implementation, we are not here to go and do dog and pony shows, open one store and that's it. In order to be able to scale AI, we need to go and have data foundation ready. And that's what I would like to go and share with you today. So first up, data. Who can give me a show of hands if you're from Singapore? How old is FairPrice Group? Give me a number. I'm older than FairPrice Group. So if you start with 20, I will give you the chips. FairPrice Group came out from the union movement. Anybody want to give me a number? This beautiful lady in pink. Sorry? 45? Any more? Thank you for thinking that I'm actually only in the 40s. FairPrice Group is 53 years old. So you can imagine when we talk about data, the amount of consolidation, the amount of duplicated data that we have actually aggregated over 53 years is a lot. I just want to give this to you first. Thank you. Thank you for participation. Thank you. In many ways, FairPrice actually touches the life of literally every Singaporean. We have our grocery business, we have our convenience store business, we have pharmacy, and we have food services. Our food service business trades from B to B to B to C. So if for any reason, somehow you find yourself in a Singapore prison, rest assured that the coffee and tea and the toasted bread is supplied by FairPrice Group. We also supply all the army camps in Singapore. We also have the largest food court in Singapore called Kopitiam. And that's why when you look at the ecosystem reach, the next question, who knows what Link is? When we say that we have 2.4 million members, when in Singapore we only have 1.48 households. What's Link program? Have you heard of the Link program? Anyone? Yes? Sorry? Very good. Thank you so much. I have to throw this to you. It's our loyalty program. We have been running this loyalty program for close to 20 years. We have 2.4 million loyalty members. Why do we need a loyalty program? Because I need to go and collect data. And I'll share with you how we are transforming the data we are collecting as well. Of the 2.4 million, 1.8 of them already have our mobile app. For those who have a mobile app, I also have some abalone. You can come to me later if you can show me that you have a mobile app of FairPrice Group in your phone. It is very important because when you are actually on our mobile device, we also know where you're shopping. We have over 500 touch points, as I shared. We are across multiple verticals and multiple domains. And not only are we just a grocery or retail business, we also own a digital bank called Trust. We are one of the shareholders for Trust Digital Bank, which is now the fourth largest bank. Over 1 million of the cardholders also shop at FairPrice Group. And of course, we are part of the labor union. We are from the union movement. We are still a social co-op. So in many ways, whatever we do is not just about commercial. We need to do well so that we can do good. We want to support Singapore as a nation. Why do we want to go and gather so much data and talk about AI? Because the vision for us is that we want to go and serve our customers better. Every single shopping mission. So every day made a little better is basically the why that we wanted to do it. We need to go and make sure that we keep daily essentials within reach with all the volatility and geographic instability. Singapore is an island nation. We import literally everything, whether it is jet fuel, whether it is oil, whether it is our eggs and tomatoes, we have to import. Our mission is to make sure food is accessible and affordable in Singapore for every Singaporean citizen. How do we do it? We need to make it easy on the wallet, affordability. We need to make it easy on the experience, especially increasingly, customers are omni-channel. They might actually start a search online. Then they come into our brick and mortar to go and compare prices. And maybe they will either shop with us or they may go elsewhere to shop. So how do we actually go and start providing a connected and a convenient experience with relevant offers through personalization? You cannot do personalization if all your data is telling you average customer spend is X, the basket value is Y, average frequency to our particular store is Z. We need to go and understand customer at a granular level. How do we do that? Do we even know what is the primary shop of a customer? The primary shop might be the weekend shop, whereby you do your stock up mission. But your secondary shop is the one close to your office, close to where you do your yoga, close to maybe your pub to pick up the milk and eggs because your wife is asking you to do so. Where is the trade zone penetration? What do the customers buy? And more importantly, what do they not buy from us is what we'd like to know, so that we can then go and upsell, category penetrate in categories that we are not as strong in. And the most important part is, if a customer is affluent, they may not want to go and buy a 50% off a $10 bottle of wine. How do we go and make sure that we have relevant offers based on their previous purchasing behavior and the category that they are actually shopping in? The challenge that we face as a 53-year-old company is the challenge that a lot of traditional retailers are facing. We have, first of all, very complex operation. FairPrice Group, depending on the size of the store, we are carrying 50,000 to about 90,000 SKUs, products, line items. We have multiple databases. Our online database is separate from my brick and mortar database, which is also separate from where I hold my PIM and my DAM. So there's a lot of different databases floating around. We are, like many other retailers, we are data rich, but insights poor. How do I actually go and change that? How do I unlock? I do not want to unlock dashboards for my store operating people. They do not need to go and have another dashboard. I need to go and provide them with relevant real-time insights at the fingertip on their mobile phone when they know that the inventory for a particular Milo product is now low, below 60%, which is the percentage that they need to go and replenish. How do I make data easy and relevant for my frontliners so that they have more time to serve customers and less time keying in and looking at dashboard? And like many traditional companies, right, we have a lot of legacy system that either is coming to end of life or cannot actually upgrade and start doing some of the configuration that for personalization we need to go and relook at. And that's why the first thing we did was to tackle the data problem. For a nation like Singapore, when I first started looking into our data across the different multiple databases. Who knows what is the population size of Singapore? Very good, close to 6 million. Guess how big is my database? 10.2. Either we have a lot of customers who is 150 years old and we have not deleted them from the file, or that there's a lot of duplication. And there is a lot of duplication. So the first thing that we did is that we still need to go rule-based. Probabilistic. Everybody talk about AI. Before you can go probabilistic, you need to be deterministic. You need to start with certain business rules that only the business would be able to go and define. For me, before I start cutting and culling the 10.2 million, I start with understanding, should we look at past 12? Should I look at past 24 dormant before I cut them? The decision is, let's go and match to my financial reporting. Let's go and do past 12. Because grocery is a category whereby if you do not come for 3 months, you have starved and you would have died. So obviously, if you have not come back to us in the past 12, most likely you are inactive with us. For us to go and do that, we were able to clean up from 10.2 to about 6 to 7, to basically the actual population size. Then we need to look at deduplication. Let's be honest, a lot of us will set up multiple accounts, right? When we are doing an online offer, first online offer for e-com, free delivery. Some of you may have 5 accounts, some of you may have 3, right? We also start looking at using the database with address, with your name, with your mobile, some of the matching that we can do to infer that you might be the same customer. We then start to merge profiles. We then start having another problem. How come one particular loyalty account are sitting in 3 different mobile numbers? You don't have to show your hands, but I'm sure a lot of the husband will be sharing their link account with their wife. They might also be sharing their credit card so that the wife can go shopping, and then the wife share with your helper so that she is the one who's doing the supermarketing. That's why it's the inverse problem. Not only do we have a proliferation of accounts, we also have a proliferation of devices whereby one account is sitting across multiple devices. How do we solve for that? We work very closely with GovTech. Everybody have a SingPass in Singapore, but for grocery business, we are not allowed to go and use SingPass ID. We are not in financial institution. However, we also offer a lot of government scheme benefits. You must have heard of CHAS, those who are below a certain income. When they shop at FairPrice Group, they get 3% off by showing the card. You must have heard of senior discounts, pioneer discounts, Merdeka discounts. Every day we have some sort of discount for our senior shoppers. Right now, in the past, you need to go and flash out your card. We now have worked with MyInfo. We will already have the details of which government scheme benefit you go to, as long as you verify your information with MyInfo. When you go and check out, you no longer need to flash anything. When you pay with your app, our barcode has already incorporated your status. As part of this, MyInfo has also shared demographic status. Do you belong to the sings and dings, the singles? Do you belong to young family based on the youngest age of your youngest child? Or do you belong to older family? As a result, we are able to go and start identifying customer profile in a lot more granular detail. That's how we can achieve a golden profile. Now, are we done? Absolutely not. We always tell my board, we can only have cleaner data. We will never have clean data because data is dynamic. People exit, people come in. We also support the union. A lot of union members are still signing with pen and paper on a form. And sometimes we can't even read their email address, or sometimes their email address is missing. So cleaning data is an evergreen infinite project. But now we have the right framework and the right wireframe to go and look at the schema that we have. We always talk about 360. Let's go and have a 360 profile of customer. No single organization will be able to get 360, even for FairPrice. even if I use that the disposable income, customers who will spend about 20% of disposable income on essentials, on food, we would be at max, be able to have 80, 120 degree of customer profile. That's why when we start talking about 1P to 3P, we need to really go and understand if we need to map out customer lifetime value. It is not about the lifetime value just with us. What are they purchasing outside of FairPrice is what we need to know. And that's why we need to have data tokenization with a lot of our third-party partners, whether it is basically card schemes, whether it's some of our strategic partners. I need to go and start getting signals, aggregated signals of profile that I would like to go and deep dive in. For instance, I would like to understand more about young families with children below the age of 6. What are they purchasing outside of FairPrice? Are they buying more fresh produce in wet markets? Are they actually buying a lot of maybe baby supplements from iHerb or any other online? I need to go and know those information. And that's why data tokenization, being able to further enhance whatever golden profile I have, is critical. And what I'm looking for is not just about shopping or transactional behavior. I would not be able to get that from 3P, but I would be able to go and get competitors. Are they shopping in basically the traditional retailers? Are they going to basically niche online grocers? Are they actually purchasing adjacencies? If I'm selling a lot of wine, FairPrice is the largest wine seller in Singapore because we have 500 outlets. What else are they buying? Where are they buying their cheese? Where are they buying their plum sauce? These are all the things that I would like to know. And the lifestyle. You either eat out or you cook at home or you have takeaway. I want to know the percentage of distribution of income across all those three so that I would be able to go and upsell maybe more ready to eat, ready to heat, ready to cook for those who are actually spending 50% eating out. These are the signals that I want to have. After I get all the signals, what are we doing now? We spent 10 months re-platforming. Our previous loyalty management system would not be able to even contain the data fields that we have now of a single customer. I need to be able to real time. If a customer is already checking out at the self-checkout lane, and I know that they actually have link points that they have not used, I would be able to now go and prompt them with a pop-up. Would you like to go and redeem your points that's about to expire? My previous POS, my previous loyalty management system cannot do that. Now we can. If you go and visit one of our stores, which is an AI-empowered store at Punggol Digital District, it's basically the Silicon Valley of Singapore. We have our first unmanned vehicle in Punggol Digital District. You'll see these little robotic vehicles doing replenishment on the street. We are the first to get the license in Singapore. If you go to that particular store, you do not have to go and push a $1 coin to go and unlock your trolley. You unlock your trolley with your mobile app, your FairPrice app. Because we already know your history, we know how many points, we can already check your past 3 months transactional behavior. Immediately on the smart trolley, personalized recommendation for products. The best deals in the store is already shown to you. You are able to go and use voice to say, can you go and show me which aisle I need to go and buy milk powder? It's voice to search. All these are already available. We now have them in 5 stores. We are planning to go and roll out to another 50 by the end of the year. As I mentioned, you cannot talk about AI if you do not have good data. And we look at the framework across input, throughput, and output. What I mean by input is that you need to know your customer. You need to go and have customer data in order to allow you to go and talk to a particular supplier who is trying to launch a new Greek yogurt. They come to us and say, Karen, can you go and target customers who have purchased yogurt before to switch to my brand? I would be able to go and say to this particular supplier A, we have 250,000 customers who have purchased yogurt as a whole. in the past 3 months. Of that, 30% have purchased your brand. The other 70% have not purchased your brand. Of that, 30% of that have purchased Greek yogurt. How targeted do you want to be? And we can then go and start charging our customers and our suppliers this targeted measure. We can now be very specific in terms of the success rate by percentage point, by basis point, to how we can actually leverage on the data that we have to go and service, to go and make sure that the offer that the supplier wants to go and send to customer and what the supplier would like to receive is actually matching. You will still see about 4,000 mass promotion on a weekly basis in our store. We have 90,000 SKU. We still run a lot of mass promotion. Personalization is not about replacement of mass promotion because mass promotion serve a different purpose. Personalization is about existing customers to make them upspend. New customers to make them be aware of the promotional offers that they have. And for lapsed customers to win them back again. It serves a very different purpose than mass promo, which is really about making sure that we are at the same baseline as our competitors. And that's why a lot of the work that we are building within the throughput in my loyalty management system is now AI enabled. We talk a lot about search. Everybody talks about AEO, GEO. Is your company building that? How are you actually making sure that articles, that FAQ, that product description can now be searchable on all the different open AI platforms? How are you doing that? How are you making sure that instead of using keywords, you are now actually attaching a lot of product description to your images as well? How do you actually go and get yourself ranked higher in chat forums? We are not the master of all of this yet, but we are working towards that. People say that we are going to go and build our own AI. No organization can beat the big guys. You will not be able to build the same LLM platform that some of the big guys are doing. So now we are partnering with multiple different partners, whether it is Gemini, whether are some of the other co-pilots, whether it's using basically the Vertex search. We are working and learning with all the big strategic partners so that as we launch the shopping assistant, the holy grail that we want to go to is one day when you go to my FairPrice app, you will not be seeing all these different offers, but just one button. And that is, how can I help you today? How do we define success? We are owned by the union. We don't go and chase bell and whistles. We want to make sure that for AI, it will serve 3 purposes. We are actually using AI to solve real customer problem. We are using AI to improve productivity and efficiency of my employees. We made a very conscious decision when we opened the AI store. Should we actually get a new, younger, more digitally savvy store manager? Or should we be using the 35-year veteran that has been loyal to FairPrice Group? There was a huge debate internally. Our decision is we will use the 35-year-old veteran because she would be telling us, this work is impossible for me to even go and train my other team members, my frontliners. You need to go and tweak it. We are not here to use AI to replace any of our frontliners. We have a particular saying in FairPrice Group. Artificial intelligence will never replace auntie intelligence. My aunties and uncles are our frontliners who are the ambassadors for FairPrice Group, who know our customer firsthand. We are not planning to go and roll out AI and change 500 store managers. We are not in the game for that. And that's why being able to upskill your existing team, making them data literate, making them not afraid of opening a dashboard or using voice to search, this is our job as an organization to make sure that as we go further into the future of transformation, we are taking the jobs and we are taking the employees with us. And with this, I conclude. Thank you.